You ever check out at the grocery store, look at your total, and think, wait, did I accidentally buy a car? Maybe you notice gas prices jump 20 cents overnight, even though you didn't change a single thing about your life. Here, this thing nobody explains to you. That spike at the pump and the extra $10 on your food bill, they might be connected to a conflict on the other side of the planet. We're talking about oil shocks, one of the most powerful, most invisible forces quietly wrecking everyday finances. Today I'm going to show you exactly how it works, why it keeps happening, and what it means for your wallet in 2026. Let's get into it.
Hi bro, okay, so I saw this on TikTok. Oil prices go up, and then my avocado toast costs more? That can't be real.
Hi Jason, if only it were just avocado toast. When oil moves, everything moves. Your food, your rent, your Uber, your streaming subscription.
My Netflix, how does Netflix have anything to do with oil?
Servers use electricity, and electricity needs energy. Energy, right now, still mostly means oil and gas. It's all connected, buddy. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Okay, walk me through it. From the beginning, like I'm 5.
Buckle up. We're going back to 1973. Oil is the internet of the physical world. Think about the internet for a second. Everything runs through it. Your DMs, your bank, your Spotify. If it went down, nothing else works. Oil is that ISPS. But for the physical economy. It powers the truck that brings your food to the store, the plane flying your Amazon package, the machine harvesting wheat. Even the fertilizer that lets farms feed billions comes from oil family products. So when oil gets expensive, it doesn't. Stay in one quarter of the economy. It radiates outward through every sector that moves, makes, or grows stuff. The world built itself on the assumption that oil would always be cheap. The 1,973 wake-up call, $3 to $12 in 4 months. October 1973. Egypt and Syria launch a surprise offensive against Israel. The United States sides with Israel. Arab OPEC members respond. Production cuts, full embargo on the U.S. The result? Almost instant economic chaos. Crude goes from roughly $3 a barrel to nearly $12 in 4 months. That's a 300% price jump on the most important input in the global economy. Drivers lined up for hours at gas stations. Some stations ran completely dry. Rationing. Your license plate number determined what day you could buy gas. Inflation exploded to double digits. Growth stalled. And a word that had been mostly theoretical became a daily headline. Stagflation, high inflation, and low growth at the exact same time. The economy had been designed around cheap oil. The moment that assumption broke, the whole design looked fragile. 1979. Same rule, different excuse. The world barely recovered from 1973 before it happened again. 1979. The Iranian Revolution overthrows the Shah. Iranian oil production, one of the world's biggest, collapses. No embargo. Just political chaos, nobody running the oil fields. The market doesn't need a reason to panic, it only needs uncertainty. Prices spike, inflation returns, workers get squeezed. Same chain. The trigger was different from 1973, the structure was identical. And the structure was the problem. How a shock spreads, the domino breakdown. Let me make this super concrete. Because this part affects your life. An oil shock doesn't arrive as one big bill. It arrives as 1,000 small ones. Day 1, oil prices spike. You feel it at the gas pump. Week 2, trucking companies face higher fuel costs. They pass that cost on to every business that ships anything. Month 1, groceries, Amazon, restaurants, all paying more to deliver. Month 2, airlines raise prices. Plastics, packaging, cleaning products all go up. Month 3, workers demand higher wages because everything costs more. Inflation expectations shift, people assume prices will keep rising. Month 4-6. The Fed raises interest rates to cool inflation. Mortgages, car loans, business borrowing all get more expensive. You didn't start a war. You didn't cut oil. You made zero decisions that caused this. But you're absorbing the entire cost. That's what makes oil shocks so explosive. 2022 and 2026. This is still happening. Before you write this off as 1,972nd history, fast forward. 2022. Russia invades Ukraine. Russia is one of the world's biggest oil and gas exporters. Sanctions hit. Supply disrupts. European energy prices explode. Germany, Europe's economic engine, worried about heating its own homes. Sound familiar? Same mechanism, different flag on the building. Now 2026. Fresh conflict in the Middle East. 2 critical shipping choke points under threat. The IEA has already released 400 million barrels from strategic reserves. Roughly 20% of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. If that route gets disrupted, there is no app for that. The actors change every decade. Mechanism never does. Who wins, who loses? Here's a bitter truth. Oil shocks are not neutral events. They redistribute wealth on a massive scale. Winners: oil exporters, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Russia, Norway. Energy companies post record profits. Early commodity traders make fortunes. Losers: households in oil importing countries, low-income families, small businesses. The people who pay are rarely the people who cause the problem. Oil shocks privatize the gains and socialize the pain.
Okay, wait. So I'm basically always paying for wars I didn't vote for? Through my grocery bill?
Pretty much. Oil shocks don't send you an invoice. They quietly drain your wallet through higher prices on everything you buy.
That's actually insane. And what? The government just lets it happen?
They try to respond: strategic reserves, rate hikes, subsidies. But every solution has a trade-off. You fix inflation, you might slow hiring. You subsidize gas, you blow up the budget. No clean answer.
So the system is kind of designed to make regular people absorb the shock.
There you are. Now, Jason, you're thinking like an economist. Hidden dependencies. Every oil crisis is the same story, a hidden dependency becoming visible. During good times, the system looks like genius. Fast, cheap, effortless. But efficient systems are often fragile systems. The most expensive part of an oil crisis is the illusion we were less dependent. What this means for your money in 2026. The inflation you're feeling right now is not random. It has physical causes. Understanding those causes helps you make smarter decisions instead of just feeling frustrated. Diversified. Inflation-resilient investments matter more when oil shocks are cyclical. Every percent of renewable energy is a percent shielded from the next shock. The history is clear. The pattern is consistent. Now you know what to look for.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Oil goes up. Trucks cost more. Food costs more. My rent goes up because everything is expensive. The Fed panics and raises interest rates. Now my student loan refi costs more. All because a war started in a place I had to Google Maps to find.
That's actually the most accurate summary I've ever heard. Yes, exactly that.
And this has happened 1,973, 1,979, 1,990, 2008, 2022, and now 2026. The same movie, different cast.
The trigger changes. The rule doesn't. Once you understand the rule, you stop being surprised by the headlines. And you start being prepared for them.
Bro, I've been annoyed at grocery prices for like 2 years. I didn't realize I was watching a 50 years old economic pattern play out on my Trader Joe's receipt.
Welcome to our channel, Jason. It's everywhere, once you know where to look. Finally, oil shocks are not freak accidents. They are a recurring feature of a system built on cheap energy. The trigger changes every decade. The rule does not. If this gave you a new way to see the world, hit subscribe and drop a comment for us. I'll show you where to look.